Hi, hello, welcome to the Craft Castle. Today we're going to learn how to make a Nike shoebox out of paper in a smaller version. And I'm sure you're like, what in the world? If you've been on any social media, you do know that these Nike party favor boxes are all the rage right now. It is kind of weird to me, but I'm excited to be able to show you how to make your own Nike favor box. This is the real deal. I took it out of my son's bedroom. Has his Easter candy left over from that. What are we, like 3 weeks removed from Easter? Anyway, I'm going to show you how to make this. Here is the small little version of mine. The file that I downloaded for this, I will link everything in the description of this video, but you're going to need the file. It's off of Creative Fabrica. If you don't have an account and you've never signed up for them, you can sign up and get 10 free files. And you're gonna want one of these just so we can make the shoebox. Everything else, I believe we're gonna get through the internet and things of that nature. But I'm gonna show you how to make this and how to make it larger, because this thing right here is like 4.5 inches, and we're gonna take the download that we get from Creative Fabrica and manipulate it a little bit so we can get a larger box, something that looks a little bit more than this. Okay, the next thing that you're gonna want is if you are wanting to make a direct replica of this. I mean, do you see that color? Yeah, this color is the exact color of this. And do you know where to find it? In my cardstock shop. So I do offer cardstock, plain and glitter, that I sell on my cardstock website. I'll link that in the description of this video. But this right here is dark orange. I have two colors of oranges. One's a regular orange and then this is dark orange, but look at that. It is almost a dead match to the actual box. Yes, can't beat that. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so this is the file that you're gonna get from Creative Fabrica. I'm just gonna delete that and show you how to upload the file into Design Space, and then we're gonna manipulate it a little bit. So we're gonna go over here into Uploads. So just pretend that this is a brand new window in Design Space. I'm gonna come over here into Uploads and then Upload Image. I'm gonna find the downloaded file and I am going to put in the SVG file with color. And I'm gonna drop it in there. I have renamed this file Nike Shoebox. It doesn't pop up that way when you download it. I have just already renamed it. And then it's gonna look up like this. So let's just put Shoebox. Let's like rename this to Shoebox. When that's done, we're just gonna press upload. Okay, when it's done being uploaded, we're just gonna click on that and you'll know that it's been clicked when it's right here in this like little template thumbnail, and press add to canvas. Okay, so the designer of this file, I don't know what they were doing or how they designed it for what program, but it is definitely something that you're gonna have to customize a little bit for to work on the Cricuts, because it's a little bit of a headache. I'm gonna show you how to make sure that it's Cricut ready. So let's right click this and press ungroup, and then click out of that. This right here, we're just gonna delete that. We don't need that. Okay, let's make this bigger. We're not worried about size at this point. We're just worried about making this a Cricut cuttable file that'll be perfect for you. Okay, so with this green box, we're gonna right click and press ungroup. And the very first thing is these lines. We're gonna select that and we're gonna come over here into basic operation and then basing cut. And then we're going to click on that and we're gonna change it over into score. It's gonna take all of those lines and make them score lines. That being said, you are going to need a scoring tool for this project. It will help you in the long run. What the scoring tool is telling you where you're gonna fold the boxes up. Okay, when you have that, we are just gonna arrange that to the back. And this green box, we're just gonna click that green box and we're gonna right click and we're gonna press ungroup. Okay, this green box, we're gonna click it and we're gonna delete it. We don't even need that box. Okay, it's gonna reveal an orange box and then this black one. This black one is actually the one you want. So let's come over here and we're gonna click that black and we're gonna change this over into orange. And then I am going to take my cursor and I'm gonna hover over to the very outside orange box. See this orange, very outside edge? We don't need that, so we're gonna delete that. Okay, then clicking back over into this now new orange box, we're gonna click it and we're gonna arrange it to the back. Okay, this is how your file should look like. After all the deletes and changing your lines over to scores, this is what you want your box to look like. This is perfect. This is exactly what we need. That being said, if you were to cut the file just the way it is, you're gonna get a box that's this big. So the Cricuts can really only cut 11.5 inches wide. So if we were to rescale this over, so if we select everything and go to the width and we change this over to 11.5, what you're gonna be left with is a box that looks like this. And it actually is kind of small. I mean, it doesn't even hold my phone. Like it's pretty small little thing. It's 4.5 inches by 2.5 inches folded. Now, if you wanted to keep it this size and you wanted a small size, all you would have to do is select everything and press attach. And then you can go ahead and cut this at 11.5 inches. You would just need one sheet of 12 by 12 cardstock. There is no gluing that's needed for this project because everything just kind of folds together in itself. But if you are wanting to make a larger box than this, which frankly, that's what I would like to do, I'm going to Command Z, which is go back, and I'm going to insert a shape, and we're going to insert a square. Okay, the largest portion of this entire file are these outside flaps right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in, unlock this thing right here, and I am going to make this box the same width as those flaps. You see how it is the same size as the flaps? We can come over here into operation and then do guide and see that it is just the same width, right? Okay, I'm gonna Command D, which is duplicate. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this box and I'm also gonna go over here to this side and I'm gonna place it just the same as what I did before. Okay, when I have both of them done, I'm gonna press Shift on my keyboard and then I'm gonna click both of those squares. And I'm just gonna make sure I'm aligned this vertically because we want everything to be symmetrical. We're gonna make sure that this is centered perfectly, which is great. And then when you have that done, we're gonna right click and we're gonna press combine and then weld. Okay, let's change this over. We're gonna click our welded squares. We're gonna change this over into a cut so we can see what we're doing. Okay, select the two rectangles that we have created and we're gonna scroll down until we find that orange box. Press Shift on our keyboard and then select that orange box and we're gonna press slice. Okay, so let's delete this because we don't need it. And we're gonna delete that because we don't need it. And this right here is gonna be our flaps. Okay, so these orange squares looking thing are gonna be our flaps. Now what you wanna do is we wanna arrange this to the back. Okay, and let's click our box and arrange that to the back as well. Okay, so you see these lines, these score lines, technically they are already grouped and they're with the entire rest of the box, but we are gonna remove them from the box so we can glue them later. That being said, what we need to do is we need to select the line, those lines, and we're gonna Command Shift G, which is ungroup. Okay, so now what you wanna do is you wanna take this orange box and we are gonna hide this just for right now. Then what you wanna do is we're only gonna work on a single flap at a time. So creating both because we have two, we're gonna Command D, which is duplicate, and I'm gonna place these flaps right on top of each other. Okay, holding on to one of them, I'm gonna come over here into contour and I'm gonna click the left one and I'm gonna click out of that box. Then coming back over into our original one, I'm gonna press contour again and I'm gonna click the right one this time. I'm gonna click out of that box. So now you're left with one individual on the left and one individual on the right. With this one, I'm gonna arrange it to the back. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take our cursor, we're gonna select the three lines, these three vertical things, and then that circle, and we're gonna press attach. So now it's gonna look like that. Then doing the same process with the other side, we're gonna select everything, the three lines and that circle plus the little flap, and we're gonna press attach. So now this is what you have. You like that? It doesn't look like much right now, but I promise it will be something later. Okay, then we're gonna go back over and find our hidden box. Okay, now the next step is we have to add flaps back into the box because technically this was a no glue box and now we're gonna glue something. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna insert a shape and I'm gonna do a square, same square as what we did before. Now let's zoom in, unlock this, and let's just make this a little bit the same size as what we have on our flaps. Okay, now what we can do is we're gonna drag out these flaps because we don't need them. Okay, and then we're making this a flap that we can glue. So I have made this just the same, about the same distance as our box, or as this inside portion. I'm gonna Command D, which is duplicate. I'm gonna go over here, I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. We're just creating a flap. Okay, doing the same thing what we did before. We wanna make sure that they're both level and even. So I'm gonna select both of those squares. We're gonna align it vertically. And then what you're gonna do is press Shift on your keyboard, and we're gonna find the big orange box down at the very bottom. We're gonna press Shift on our keyboard and then click the orange box, and we're gonna combine and then weld. So taking this box, the large box, we're gonna arrange it to the back. Okay, so this is what your file is going to look like. Let's zoom out, and we're gonna move these over because we don't need them anymore. And looks like there's like a hidden line right here. What is that? Let's press Contour, and let's just get rid of that line. So we're gonna hover over here, and we're just gonna click that, and we're gonna get rid of it, and then click it over. That's perfect. Okay, so now we're gonna be able to select this right here, and we're gonna be able to press Attach. Now this file, we're gonna be able to rescale this to be a larger file. So what happens is when we put this over here and this back over here, we're gonna have to glue these tabs back in when we go to assemble it, but now we're gonna be able to create a larger box because we got rid of that widest part of the entire project. Okay, so now to resize this project, you're gonna select everything. Make sure that this lock is locked. We're gonna align this to the center, and then I am going to make this as large as possible. So for me, it's gonna be 11.5 in height, and press Return. We just gained about 2 inches, so that's gonna make a pretty decently sized box. So we're gonna need to find those little guys, those little tabby things. Okay, now what you wanna do is you wanna find this little swoosh, right? We need that. We need that for a couple different spots. One right here, here, and here. So what I'm going to do is open up a blank window in Google, and I'm gonna search up Nike swoosh PNG, and we're gonna go over here into images. We're just looking for any swoosh. When you're looking for swooshes, you wanna make sure that you have really good resolution, and so when you click on the image, you come over here, you can see that the resolution is like 2000, and this one's about the same. If it's like a 400, like this one's 800, if it's like a 400, because there's so many options, just choose the one that has the best resolution. And then when you have that, we are gonna right click and we're gonna press Open Image in New Tab. Okay, this is gonna pop up. We are gonna take a screenshot of it. So Command Shift 4, which is taking a screenshot on a Mac, and this little aiming thing will pop up. You're gonna draw a box around the entire swoosh. If you cut it off, that means that you're not going to get the rest of that swoosh. So you wanna make sure and cover the entire thing. When you got that, just let go, and it's gonna pop up right here. Going back over into Design Space, we're gonna come over here into Upload, and then we're gonna press Upload Image. And we're gonna drag over our swoosh. We're gonna go into Complex, press Continue, and then I'm gonna come down here to More Options, and I'm gonna bump this up pretty high. And then with this little cursor tool, I am just gonna click the white portion of it. Okay, coming over here into Preview Cut, I can see that my line is going to be nice and straight. There isn't a whole lot of jaggeds, and there's not a lot of nodes, and it's not gonna take forever. It's gonna be a really clean cut with your paper. So when you like the way that it looks, we're gonna press Apply and Continue. And I just want this to be a cut image. So I'm gonna rename this, and then I'm gonna press Upload. Find our upload, and then press Add to Canvas. And it is gonna load up large and in charge, which is fine. I wanna change this over, so come over here into the black. I wanna change this over into white because my box has them in white. Now, the top of the box for this is going to be this right here. So I'm gonna click that swoosh, and I am just going to make this fit the inside portion of that box. A little bit smaller just to make sure that it lines up kind of like what the actual swoosh looks like. Then there's going to be a swoosh like on the inside flaps of these, which is going to be these things right here. So I'm going to Command D, which is duplicate. I'm going to rotate this over 90 degrees, and I'm going to make this small, making sure that this lock is locked. Let's make this small. We're going to put them on the inside flaps of our box. So when you have one, we're going to Command D, which is duplicate, and we'll drag in the other one. It looks like it's over on, like one's in the front and one's in the back. And then this one needs to be rotated the other direction. So let's rotate that. And outside of this small little thing right here, that's done. This is gonna be a box. So the inside of these are cardboard, and I'm not going to do that. I'm just gonna do one single layer of just the orange. Everything is done. This is your finished file. It is going to cut perfectly. So make sure that we save this, and then you wanna press make it. Okay, and there looks like there's something that was left over here. I have no idea what that is. So I'm just gonna select them. Just do that, and then right click and press hide selected. And we have a couple baby little Nikes. We're just gonna put them together. Don't make sure that they're not touching, so we're just gonna save space. We need some very tiny little Nike swooshes. Let's zoom in. See how they're touching? When we go to cut this, what will happen is they'll cut into each other. So you wanna make sure that nothing is touching. Okay, now that nothing is touching, we are good to go. Let's go over here and to the right and zoom out. I wonder if we can take one of these flaps. Let's put it over here. We can click these three dots and we can move object. I wonder if we can make these fit onto the 12 by 12. Let's see. Ooh, we can. Look at that. So even though we made this file larger, we can still only use one sheet of 12 by 12 cardstock for this project. Yeah, I love this. Okay, perfect. Look at that. So it's going to be tight, but at least we only have to use one sheet of 12 by 12 cardstock versus having to get like a second one. And we just saved material. That's amazing. Okay, so when you're done, just press continue, cut this on your Cricuts, and then come back to me and I'll show you how to assemble it. Alrighty, we needed a whole whopping 2 mats for this project. Okay, the very first thing you wanna do is taking your precision craft glue. I have mine and my favorite glue. I'm gonna take a bead of glue on one side of this flap and this flap. These are the flaps that we created earlier in Design Space. And I'm gonna put in my little guys. Okay, I am using the score line as a glue reference. Okay, I'm gonna roll this over. And what you wanna do is you wanna follow these score lines. So we wanna fold these over and we wanna bend everywhere that has one of these score lines. So I'm gonna take my paper in. I'm gonna use a hard edged tool. A credit card will work, a ruler, anything that you can create these bends. And I'm gonna bend in the back side of what was cut that was sticking onto the mat. That's going to be your inside portion of your box. Okay, when you have all the lines folded into your box and they're hard creased, now all you have to do is just assemble it. So we are going to take the top, we're going to fold these flaps in, and we're going to flip this top little thing and we're going to tuck them into those holes. Now, if you want to, technically this is a no glue, but if you wanted to, what we could do is we can just take a bead of glue, put that on the inside flap, and we'll just push this down in there. So now it's nice and glued in there, so it won't get, come up, but technically you didn't even need to have to do that. Okay, I am going to go like this, put these flaps in. Oh, let's bend this box backwards. Okay, this, and we're gonna flip these in and flip these inside flaps in. And again, technically it's not a glue project, but all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip this flap. I'm gonna put a bead of glue on the inside portion of that. And when I go and fold this over, I'm gonna put my fingers down and I'm gonna push down into that just so it's nice and glued in there. Doing the same thing with this one. Going to flip up the top, only do a bead of glue on the inside portion. And I flip this over. And there we go. Our finished and assembled box. Look at how stinking cute this is. And for size reference, we have that first original box that I created fits right inside of that. Here is the finished box. And here's a real one for size reference. We created a miniature little Nike box. How cute. Okay, so then using our Nike box as reference, since we have this right here, I'm going to use our swooshes that we created. I'm going to do the first one. This is going to be the opening of the box. Oh, let's just take this guy out. Okay. Let's put a little bit of glue, and then I'm going to drop this down right in the middle. Okay, on the front left side of the box right here has a swoosh, so I'm going to turn this over doing the same thing. Okay, coming over here, and we have it on the back over here. So I'm going to take this and put it on the back. And there we have it. Our little box. Look at how cute this thing is. All right. So these little boxes are great for party favors. Everyone's been using them for cute little decorations. I am just freaking obsessed, and it's so much cuter. I mean, the small one is cute too. So if you didn't want to do any customizations, you could totally do something that this small, or you could just make a larger box, which still only required one sheet of 12 by 12 cardstock. All right, y'all, I sure hope I inspired you to create, and I will see you later.